Low carb eggnog, I'll be the judge of that. Welcome to Highfalutin Low Carb, the random web series where we find and test the best low carb recipes this crazy internet has to offer. Today, we're tackling eggnog. Stay tuned. All right, folks, today we're tackling one of the most festive cocktails and party drinks of the season, eggnog. Now, low carb eggnog, if you do a little research online, there aren't a lot of recipes. And to be very honest, I have never made eggnog by hand. My version of eggnog means going to the dairy counter at the grocery store and picking up a bottle of Borden's eggnog. I mean, that's just what you did. I'm lactose intolerant for a lot of things, not since starting keto, but when I was not eating low carb, a carton of eggnog would just be devastating, devastating. So I never drank it much. I did love it. I love it. It's basically a custard, right? I mean, it's eggs, egg yolks, some seasonings like nutmeg and cinnamon, and milk. And you cook it down until you pasteurize the eggs, basically. It's got to get to 160 degrees. That's the most important part. You can buy pasteurized eggs and make this a little less stringent with the temperatures, but if you're using real eggs, this has got to get to 160 degrees. So in researching this, basically all the recipes are the same. So instead of a battle today, we're just making eggnog and we're just gonna see how it turns out. I'm pretty convinced based on the recipe that this came from, the one I did choose to make, because this is from one of my favorite websites, alldayidreamaboutfood.com. And everything she makes is beautiful and delicious. And she started this, one reason this caught my eye is she fully acknowledges that this recipe started with the America's Test Kitchen traditional eggnog recipe from the America's Test Kitchen family cookbook, which I have and love. I love America's Test Kitchen and Cooks Illustrated. I've been a subscriber and watcher for a long time. So she took that recipe and just made a couple of simple substitutions, and I'm curious if I can do it as well. She took out the milk and cream and swapped that for unsweetened almond milk. You can also use unsweetened hazelnut or macadamia nut milk if you prefer. And then obviously she swapped out the sugar with a low carb sweetener. She used Swerve, so that's what I'm going to use here today, but you could use allulose or monk fruit or stevia, whatever you prefer. So let's really get started. So what we're going to do is just basically create a custard on the stove here in a small saucepan. What I love about her website, alldayidreamaboutfood.com, is that she allows you, when you go to look at the printed recipe, you can use a slider and choose how many servings you want. Her original recipe made 8 servings of eggnog. I only wanted to make half of that. It's easy to just pull the slider down to 4 servings, and then all the ingredients are adjusted automatically. So visit her website down below, please. I'm going to give some of the measurements here today, but most of all of this recipe will be at her website, alldayidreamaboutfood.com. I'm going to put it here. It'll also be in the video description below. So we know that we need to start with eggs. And in a cold saucepan, this is how you start. In a cold saucepan, we are going to put in our eggs. This is 2 eggs and a whole egg yolk. And in that goes, and we just got to whisk this with the sweetener and some of the other ingredients. And this is the Swerve sweetener that I mentioned. I'm using a spiral whisk because I can get into the edges of the pan a little bit better with a spiral whisk than I can with a traditional balloon whisk. These are super duper cheap and I love them. So in goes your sweetener. This pot is not on any heat. This is all cold. We've got to slowly bring this up to temperature. Otherwise you're going to have scrambled eggs and not eggnog. All right, we're also going to add in a little dash of salt, just a pinch of salt, not much, just kind of punches up the flavor. And to this, we're going to slowly whisk in the almond milk. This is a couple of cups. So slowly whisk this in, gradually add it to the pan. I'm going to put this down and get in these corners good. Swerve is, she calls for the granular Swerve, and I was actually out of granular Swerve, so I used the confectioner's Swerve. which is finer. And truth be told, now this is going to get to 160 degrees, so the swerve granules would have been fine; they would have dissolved. But if you are making any kind of baked goods, I prefer to use the swerve confectioners, or take your granulated and put it through your blender or your food processor until you get confectioners powdered sugar. So slowly whisk this in. And we're going to add the flavoring a little bit after this. Okay, there's all of that. So I'm going to put this on low, right? This is going to be on low heat. And her recipe did not call for this, but all the other recipes do. A cinnamon stick. So while this comes to temperature, to 160 degrees, I'm just going to throw that cinnamon stick in there. That's the one variant. She did not call for that, but I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that. We're going to add the vanilla and the nutmeg, the traditional flavors of eggnog, at the end after this comes to temperature. So what we're going to do, you need to use a candy thermometer. Do you have a candy thermometer that sits on the edge of the pot? Or you need to use a very good thermometer. So what we're going to do is, while this comes to a boil, this has to be stirred continuously. Do not let it out of your sight. Keep it moving. I mean, you don't have to like whisk it and make it whipped cream, but you need to keep it moving from the bottom. The point is that eggs fully cook at 160 degrees. They are safe then to eat. And I know you watched Rocky and you watched him eat all those raw eggs and swallow them down. And you do what you want to do, but that is not food safety. In fact, the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, have to come out every year at Christmas time, around this time, and tell people, don't eat raw cookie dough. Don't eat raw cookie dough. Yeah, you've probably had it 100 times in your life and you're fine. But the worst thing you can do is eat a raw egg and get sick for Christmas, and then you got 2 weeks of food poisoning. Don't risk it. So this has got to get to 160 degrees. Let's measure it now just to see what it is. This is 82 degrees, 87, 89, 90. So it's heating up. We got to get this to 160. You do not want to go further than 160 or 165. All day I dream about food. She specifically says she likes to get hers to 165. You get to 170, 175 Fahrenheit, you're scrambling eggs. You're cooking eggs. The eggs will curdle in that milk, and you won't have eggnog. You have passed the point of custard, right? This is just a custard, is what this is. A flavorful custard that doesn't set, is not baked, and lives in the refrigerator, and then you mix booze with it and drink it. It's a drinkable custard, right? So if you get to 175, 170 possibly, you're going to come out with scrambled eggs floating in milk. That is not what we want. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this. We're going to get this to 160. So I'll be right back. So let's take this off the heat. Let's do a quick little temp check. Do not touch, if you use a fast read thermometer like this, do not touch the metal. So look, that's 165, 164, 161. So we know we're safe. We're not hitting anything below 165 or 160, and we're not, yeah, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to pour this into something that's easy to pour in. I'm going to hold back that cinnamon stick. I don't want it to come out. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so we know we're safe temperature-wise. And from here, we're going to add in the flavorings and the things that make eggnog, not just milk and eggs. That's the cinnamon stick we added in previously, and obviously ground nutmeg. This is one of the most important parts. If you've got fresh nutmeg, all the better. If you want to know the exact amounts for all of these based on the amount of servings that you're going to make, be sure to check out alldayidreamaboutfood.com. She's right down below. All right, we also need a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract. All right, so we need half, 1/2. All right, and we just whisk this. And folks, that's all there is to eggnog, is some warm milk, eggs. Now, I will tell you that a lot of the recipes you're going to find for traditional eggnog, they temper the eggs, and I can see that. So in other words, they would heat the milk and the cream, or in our case, for low carb, they would heat the almond milk and the heavy whipping cream. And they would heat that slowly, and then they would put the eggs and the egg yolks in another bowl and slowly pour in the hot liquid into the eggs while they're whisking like this. And that gives you the creamy, exactly what we have here. Yeah, that's traditional. What I love about this and what I trust about America's Test Kitchen is that they have already tried all of those. And when they tell you that this is the easiest way to do it, you've had about 20 test cooks make this. So the America's Test Kitchen version, and obviously All Day I Dream About Food, her version is just putting all the ingredients in a saucepan over low heat and bringing it slowly to 160 degrees. Now this is going to thicken up a lot in the refrigerator. Again, this is just a custard that we've made. Okay, so we know that this now has come to temperature and we're done here. Normally this would need to chill for 3 hours minimum in the fridge, preferably overnight. However, I've got to test this now. What time is it? Yeah, I got to test this now. And the reason why is literally within 2 hours, I'm about to get on a plane. And I'm spending my Christmas on a sailboat in the middle of the British Virgin Islands. Trip of a lifetime. But I would not dare leave you guys hanging without a video for Christmas. So I knew that I had to film something, and I knew that everybody's been asking about eggnog. And I myself was curious about eggnog because, like I mentioned, in the past, I have been so lactose intolerant that I didn't get to enjoy eggnog, the traditional eggnogs. It was just too much. And as much as I loved it, I would get, I'd take a sip or two of it, but that was about all I could do. And now that I'm, low carb, I don't have as much of a lactose problem any longer. I've talked about that before in my Q&A video. I'll link it up here. So I don't have as much of a problem. And then also, this is this is dairy free. This is almond milk. So I've been curious about this. So, let's see what we got here. I'm going to taste it while it's warm. I know it's warm. Let's just pour a little bit into a glass and see what happens. I just want to take a small taste. It's great to use a big old something with a pourable tip. While this is still warm, this is not traditional. It would be cold and chilled. All right, so that is good. It's very creamy, very thick. And I can imagine when this gets into a refrigerator for a couple of hours, that is gonna be freaking delicious. Now, the way I would enjoy this, like a lot of people, eggnog is a delivery vehicle for a nice bourbon or a dark rum. A lot of you asked me what my favorite bourbon is. In the Q&A video, I mentioned it's Buffalo Trace, as you can tell by this almost empty bottle. So, guess what we're about to do? Bourbon has 0 carbs. It does have calories, but it has no carbs. So just make sure you measure how much you're drinking and you're counting for that in your macros as far as calories go. All right, so I'm gonna top this off. You can see when you add the liquor, it almost curdles. Add a little more to top it off. And this is also where, sprinkle some fresh nutmeg, put your cinnamon stick in this. If you've got a grater, a little microplane grater and a fresh nutmeg, all the better. But let's see, with a little bourbon. Yeah. Even warm, that's delicious. Cold, it's gonna be even better. So I guess even though we didn't have a battle today, as in pitting 2 recipes against one another, I was pitting this recipe for handmade, homemade, low carb against my memories of what Borden and all the other traditional carton eggnog that I love. And this, it's not quite as thick as those. Now granted, those probably have carrageenan and a lot of thickeners that change the texture, and we don't have that here. But as it... Oh Okay, that's good. Like I said, we're about to get on a plane. Joshua, can we take booze on a plane? Can't take booze on a plane. All right, so I guess I got to drink this all before we go. Whew. Cheers, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I won't see you again until I get back from this trip, and that'll be probably the first of the new year. And I hope to bring you some video of what we did on the trip for those of you that are interested. There are 6 of us. The other 4 people are they're very close friends. They're also low carb and keto, generally speaking. It's going to be very interesting to see how we can provision a sailboat in the British Virgin Islands for 6 people for 10 days and all eat keto and low carb. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm not saying we're going to be successful at it, but we're going to try. So I'm going to come back to you in a couple of weeks and show you how that all went down, how it all shook out, and we'll chat about it. Otherwise, guys, thank you for joining me. As I've always said, these videos are a way for me to maintain my low carb way of eating, and looking into the end of that camera keeps me honest. So I appreciate that you have come along for the journey. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button down below. What we normally do is test low carb recipes and pit them against one another, and we determine who the winner is. Today was a little bit different because all the recipes were sort of the same, and I knew that the America's Test Kitchen recipe, and subsequently All Day I Dream About Food, that her recipe was really gonna come through. And boy, it did. If you are already a subscriber, be sure to hit the bell button down below. That'll let you know just as soon as I release a new video. Please check out my Patreon account. If you don't know what Patreon is, think of it as the tip jar for the internet. It's a way for people like you who enjoy what people like me are doing here on YouTube, and you can give us $1 or $2 a month just to sort of keep this train on the tracks. Otherwise, please leave me a comment down below. As I've mentioned, I won't be here when this video goes live. I will have very, very limited internet access. And one of the most important parts about this channel is being able to communicate with you. I love your comments down below, and it's heartbreaking that I won't be able to probably read some of these until I get back and on mainland here in the States. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you are gonna do for this holiday season. What do you do for holidays? Let me know. What are you looking forward to make? Please entertain me. Give me something to read on the plane on the way back, and leave a comment down below. And otherwise, I will see you here in literally probably 2 or 3 weeks, because the end of December is nigh. We're going to hit the trail running in January, and I'm super excited about the things we have coming down the pipe. Otherwise, I love you guys. I got a plane in about 2 hours. Love you. See you soon.